You've had quite the day, Zach. Never a dull moment over there.
No, we don't. Yeah. We don't like to just take it easy, take it smooth. Yeah.
Well, we are getting.
It's a new thing, but that's cool.
Yeah, right. I have to say, you have the coolest leaks.
Roll with the punches, I guess, as they say.
Yeah. Well, we're getting very close to March 18th. So close that people are beginning to make a plan on how to watch this 4-hour film. And who better to make that plan with than you?
Yes.
So we decided to do Zack Snyder's guide on how to watch the Snyder Cut.
I mean, look, and I think there's two sort of philosophies, well, there's probably more than two, but the simple way to think about it is there's either maybe it's two different kind of watchers, really. Someone who's going to take their time, who's not like going to just binge it in a single blast. And for those people, this viewer's guide might help. I think for the pro viewer, who's gonna
mainline it,
I can help you a little bit to not get to know where, you might, might want to, go to the bathroom, replenish your snacks.
Exactly. Even the most hardcore fan is going to need to take a break.
And they're going to want new snacks. I mean, that kind of goes without saying, I think. I mean, I know I would.
Oh, of course. They'll have to refill.
Yeah, refill. So I guess when so there are, as you know, there's 6 parts.
Yes.
We announced that the other day.
Is there still an intermission?
There's no intermission if you watch the movie at home.
Okay. All right.
If you were to see the movie, like the IMAX version of the movie has an intermission because you can't pause.
Yes, that would be too cruel.
That's rough. So at around, let's see, at around 2 hours and 21 minutes, there's an intermission.
Oh, okay. So that's a theatrical experience. After which chapter? After which part?
It's after chapter 4.
Okay.
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, it's after chapter 4. So it comes back to chapter 5 or part 5.
So if people want to create the theatrical experience, that's where they can take the break.
That's what I was going to mention. It's actually a nice big break. If you want to take a big break at the end of 4 and before 5, it would actually, it says when part 5 comes on, you pause it there.
Ah, great.
And that's if you, that's the sort of what I would consider you're on the downhill you're running toward the end.
Oh, cool.
The first chapter, Don't Count on It, Batman, is.
So now we're going to break it down for someone who's not going to just watch this all in one sitting. Who's like, what should I do?
The movie starts. The first chapter is called Don't Count on It, Batman. And you have like that whole section is about 30 minutes.
Oh, so cool.
Just that first section. And then Age of Heroes comes next. And Age of Heroes, at the end of Age of Heroes, that's a nice time for a small break, I think.
Oh, good.
If you're interested. Because the next chapter is Beloved Mother and Beloved Son, and it kind of starts us on another road. The opening is kind of big setup. Up to that point, you get a lot of like backstory and kind of know what's happening. And now we're gonna basically, Beloved Mother and Beloved Son is it like, so when that comes up, part 3, that's a good time to pause it. And if you're not gonna just muscle, I would say after Age of Heroes, a good time to pause it. It might be a snack refill moment, or it might be a potty break, depending on your bladder, and also how much you've been. The thing about when you're at home, when you go to a big movie that is long, you might be a little conservative with your.
That's right.
Your liquid intake.
Also, it's crazy. Like, I think one of the biggest problems with the pandemic watching movies at home is that there are more distractions, like life interferes more.
Yeah.
So if someone comes and interrupts you, you can be like, just wait until the end of chapter 2, and then I can talk to you.
Exactly. And I think that's a really great way to think about it in that. But I suggest taking the day off of work and closing the curtains and
obviously
shutting your phone off. That's
how you're supposed to watch it.
Yeah, but that's fine. I get the other version too. That's practical.
We don't love those people any less.
Yes, no, zero, absolutely no less. So beloved mother, beloved son. And then you'd have beloved mother, beloved son, and then change machine. And that would get you to the natural break, I think, which is, that's still beloved mother and change machine is, it's still like it's still like an hour and 15 minutes.
Well, you said that's like a 2-hour 20 to that point, right? Yeah. So that's like a full movie if you want to make that.
So like, Don't Count on Batman and Age of Heroes is an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's an hour in is what I'm talking about. Where you if you wanted to take a break, you could.
Okay.
Or beloved mother. So, it's still you saw an hour of the movie. And then when you come back for parts 3 and 4, that's another hour, a little over an hour.
So if somebody wanted to break this into 2 nights.
Well, it's actually, into 2 movies.
Yeah, into 2 nights, right? They're like, okay, I'm going to make it a Thursday, Friday night activity.
Yeah, then I would say after All the King's Horses, you would, after Change Machine.
Yeah.
All the King's Horses, you would just, okay, tomorrow I watch this. And that's a run to the end. But it's still, you're still 31, 40. So that's an hour and 10 minutes.
Seems a little short. It seems like you didn't cut it in the middle. If that's just all the.
But no, but there is so part 6, Something Darker, which, you would say, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
But there's an epilogue that's called A Father Twice Over that, I guess wasn't released. So the last part is called Father Twice Over. And that's, takes you to the end of the movie. That's the big epilogue.
Oh, how long is that?
A bunch of stuff. That's, from there to the very end is, let's see. It's 25 minutes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So there's actually 7 parts. 20
minutes. Plus then credits after that.
That's awesome.
So there's actually 7 parts, yes.
Oh, yay. That's great.
Yeah.
So 1 through 4 and then 5, 6, and 7. But it sounds like 5 to 7 is like a real party.
Yeah, 5 to 7 is like a whole deal. Yeah. That's a whole, there's a lot happens in there. But by the way, the movie's chock-a-block. So, there's no real, none of these chapters don't have a big gigantic thing in them.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, it is you. So, you definitely make sure that you deliver in every chapter, right? So they each have an action sequence?
Yes, they actually each have it's, the epilogue has its own little thing, but.
Do you have a favorite chapter or you can't choose?
Beloved Mother, Beloved Son is one of my favorite chapters. That's for sure. That's cool. Cause that's got a lot of stuff in it that I really like. I don't know. I can't. That one I would say is, Something Darker is great. The epilogue I like a lot, so it's hard.
Who named all these chapters?
Oh, I did.
Oh, that's great.
And those were the names. Those have been on the movie since 2017. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, also I have to say this weekend, the Snyder Cut exhibit officially opened at the AT&T Discovery Center in Dallas.
Oh, right.
And I think that's just lovely. It's a stunning exhibit and you curated it, right?
Yeah, it was, we were approached about like, do you want to do something for our gallery at AT&T headquarters? And I said, that sounds amazing. There's a lot of cool stuff from the sort of, the nightmare, reality of the DCEU in my way of, to my way of thinking about the world. And I have some great photography and there's some great costumes. And then we said that, we have these whiteboards that tell the sort of,
yes,
the story, if it were to continue, what it would be. Now, I think it's important to keep in mind that that those boards are based on where we were with the story in, I think it was before BVS came out. So,
well, for people who aren't familiar with them, these are these 12 huge storyboards, right?
Yeah,
that you wrote out and Jim Lee illustrated.
Yeah.
And they're the whole Justice League saga as you were planning it back then.
At that time. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Cause we were talking about like, some people were like, oh, it's like a spoiler.
Is it spoilery? I mean, has this, cause like I read it and like Nightmare Joker isn't in there. So clearly the story's evolved.
Yes. The story has evolved. I mean, there had always been a hope. I mean, that's why I put the card on the gun that story would be told, which I did in BBS because I knew I wanted to tell that Joker story. So yeah, there's a lot of things that happened and then a lot of things that happened subsequently and we have by the way, I did another one of those boards that I haven't shown, that I won't show, but that would have been the going forward now from what's happened in Justice League.
Do you do those types of boards for every movie that you do, for every project?
In an outlining point, it's because it's an outline really. Before
I've never seen anyone do it like on a big wall like that. Like,
yeah, it's just cool. I think it's fun to look at, and I do a lot of doodles and stuff normally. Jim come and cleaned them up, and I mean, did that. I had a couple, and he just went nuts, and it was amazing. And so it's a good way to kind of view the movie as in its totality, and sort of in a glance, and I think that it is a good way of working.
So if people are really, really, they don't want any spoilers at all, they can save them and read them after they see the Snyder Cut, right?
Oh, by all means, if you felt like you were getting cheated, you absolutely could just watch the movie and then read it if you felt like you couldn't, you didn't want to like know what was going to happen, or I don't know.
Well, I really like the one element that you have in there about Lex Luthor's League. You put together a really cool league. You had Ocean Master, Black Manta, Captain Cold, Dr. Poison, and the Riddler, who it seemed at that point was going to be in the Batman, the solo Batman movie.
Yeah.
So clearly you're.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, I think even at that point, there was no, I don't know I can't remember whether Ben was even like, I think he was considering it, but I don't know if he had committed to directing the movie.
Oh, so it was that early.
Yeah, it was
that early.
Yeah.
But so clearly you were taking villains that were intended to maybe be in the solo films, but was there any villain that you were particularly excited about interpreting?
Well, I like the idea that Riddler, I like the use of Riddler by Lex to figure out anti-life. I thought that as a concept was really cool. Like that we would employ him to understand it, because it's it's an equation, it's a mystery, and he's the one that could decipher it. And he does. And I think that was, you have to read the thing. I'll let you read the thing to find out what happened.
I've never seen Riddler used that way, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, we thought it was pretty cool. Like, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's like, he's like a tool in that case.
Yeah.
And by the way, he was doing it for Lex at the time, right?
Well, I've never seen anyone manipulate Riddler that way. It's such a Lex thing to do. But as you said, to think of Riddler as a tool, it's like something you could apply to something. I thought it was really clever.
Yeah, and it's fun also because, the fact that Batman, the Batman's journey at that part of the movie is to try and find out what Lex is up to. And so he would have tracked him to this place where he was working it out. So like you can imagine it. Like that's just like a movie moment, like where he's following the traces of the mystery to find him. So anyway,
I thought it was great.
Yep.
So finally, though, I have to say fans have been debating, the boards being out, the storyboards being out. So I'll just ask you, are you happy that they're out?
Well, we put them in the museum because I thought it was a really great example of there's so much from the nightmare world in there. It just felt like a perfect spot for them to be seen. And I didn't think that there was that it would be, yes. I mean, I'm glad that people are seeing them. I wish that they weren't as, seen as a point of controversy because other than, you can debate about like how you feel about the story and all that's fun, do that all day. I don't care. That's great. That's the point. But, I don't think that there's a great, that I don't want people to think that it's like some sort of, like I'm ringing a bell to say like, hey, come check out this. Other than if you're in Dallas, please, by all means.
Yes, exactly.
The other plan is also I want to, the portraits that I've shot of the guys that are all there in the thing, those are going to get auctioned at the end for charity. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
That's
they're only
wonderful.
They're, one of two. I only printed two. So they're very limited and they're really cool. So.
Can anyone, will anyone be able to?
As the thing racks up, we'll figure out. Yeah, everyone will be able to bid on them. Absolutely.
Oh, that's fantastic. So March 18th, next week.
Yeah.
And the week is going to kick off with your virtual premiere on Monday, March 15th. What can fans expect?
I don't know that it's going to be, I'm also still waiting to see what that means. Like I've never done a virtual premiere. You're probably you're more of a veteran of virtual premieres than I am. So maybe I should ask you what I should expect. A lot of kind of what we're doing now. I don't know. Am I walking anywhere? I honestly, I don't know.
I'm sure HBO Max has some really cool stuff planned for you. They have the emojis that have already come out and everything. So they're really ramping everything up. That's great. So I can't wait to see how these last 2 weeks unfold.
Me either.